Here is the Cayenne Turbo with water leak coming from the alternator. And what I am seeing is deep down in here, there are fittings that are made of plastic that leak. There's the turbo. Took out all this stuff here, air box, and some of the hosing. All this stuff came out. I still have to take the wheel off and take this inner liner off so I can get better access. But I think I'm nailing it down. Video number 2, continuing the repairs on the 2016 Cayenne Turbo. Found a water leak a couple days ago. Got an alert saying my reservoir was low, add fluid. Came out, found a small puddle underneath the car. So I dove into it, looking up on the internet, YouTube videos and forums, and my new buddy ChatGPT explanation says to access it from the inner wheel well. Took off the tire, exposed the engine, and sure enough, that valve right there is the angle valve that has a small drip coming out, and it's dripping with minor pressure. I started the car earlier to warm it up, but I could see a drip. I made a video of it dripping. Yes, I do see some oil residue leaking from my timing chain cover, but I guess I will live with that for now. I'll clean it up, see if there's anything I can do. But to access this angle bracket, very simple. The one behind it is up inside under all this mess. I will have to undo some of the heat shields and whatever to get to that. But if I'm this far, I will do both. Have some aluminum replacements coming. Did create a video for cleaning up this mess behind the intercooler with over an inch or so of dirt. I'll post that one later. Other than that, the rest of the inspection looks pretty good. Suspension, air compressor tubings here. Other stuff looks pretty good. Suspension isn't too bad, just a little dirty. And we will continue the battle. Time to go get the shop vac. Okay, video number 3. I've cleaned up, and I think I have found my leak. You can actually see it dripping. Where is it? There we go. Give it a minute and it will drip. Right there. Here she comes. One drip. All that for that. This one will be very easy to get to. It's the other little bastard that's up inside here. It's behind all this shit. That's the nut. But other than that, I came all this way. I'm going to do both. Alright, video number 4. Cayenne Turbo Alternator leak repair. And I don't have the replacement parts just yet. But I was getting a little antsy, and I was trying to see what I can solve here. And I undid the E10 bolt, and I found that fitting was broken in half once I pulled it out. And it literally was broken in half. I did not break it coming out. So I am going to pull the rest of the stuff that's in there. I did use some handy dandy clamps from Harbor Freight to pinch off my lines. Oops. And keep them from leaking. You can see those here and here. Just pinch off both lines. Still trying to access the top fitting, but I had to persuade this heat shield out of the way a little bit. This is the main 12 volt feed coming off the alternator, so there is high voltage, or 12 volts, high amperage current in there. If I go any further, I'm going to disconnect my battery, but just to get to the simple fitting, the one that is leaking, I am at this point waiting for parts. Well, I wasn't able to film and pull that remaining piece out, but here is the piece. It's the other half of that fitting, plastic fitting. Not sure how something like that breaks, but again, composite plastics in a European vehicle. Not the greatest, but that's what they build them with. Okay, part 4 or 5. Got the broken brackets out. First one came right out and it was broken. I said, well, let me try get the second one out. And as I slowly pulled it out, it too was broken. I know they were broken prior to me pulling them out. You can tell by how old that is. That's not a fresh break on either one of them. So owner beware. Plastic fittings, Porsche Cayenne Turbo 2016, 78,000 miles on it. Back to working on the Cayenne. Parts came in. I got the URO brand fittings, much better than factory ones that were broken. I read somewhere about using some Vuitton O-rings, which I have a kit for that I purchased off of Amazon. After researching and looking, the only thing different about these would be they are a little more stout around chemicals and what have you. So I don't know if I'm using them or not. They're not an exact fit. A little bit thinner diameter than what came with these. And I think these would outlast my lifetime. So I'm gonna go with what it came with. I've already got one installed as far as on the piping. And with my lucky handy dandy clamp, I was able to do the hose clamp. Got it on there, and I think this one's gonna go back up inside. So need both hands and we'll get it. Alrighty, got it. Both angle valves changed out. That one up in the top, I had to take this heat shield off. There's a bolt right back in here, E10, very simple to get to with a little extension. Once I undid that, I had better access. And always test your work, because after I had the first one in, I tested it and sure as shit it was leaking. Took it all back apart and I found the O-ring was pinched. So I went back in with one of those Vuitton O-rings, made sure everything was nice and secure, got the hose clamps back on, just ran the car, got the temp up to 130 something degrees, water's flowing, and I have no leaks. So this is a wrap. The next thing I have is this bolt was broken. I have it sitting on my desk. So I have one of those on order from Pelican, and I have this 50 millimeter. This is a 6x30, and I think this is 6x55. I always say place the neighboring bolts. Torque them to 8 Newton meters and then 90 degrees, but we will figure that out when the bolts come in. And that was part of my oil leak. Other than that, we are good. Something else I wanted to note out is when you got this wheel well off, this little fitting right here, that's your drain for the sunroof on the passenger side. Make sure that is clear. A lot of guys cut those off to make sure that they don't restrict any debris. So that's another pro tip. And other than that, I will call it a night and put everything back together tomorrow.